What moves the needle on the public at this point, Brett, in terms of what those surrogates can say about this case?
Well, you know, I was always warned to not try to do too much with a witness, and they're trying to do everything, their whole case with one witness. And you have, you know, keep in mind, there's a reason why Michael Cohen right now is trying to present himself as not the attorney for Donald Trump. It's not just because of the transaction, but Donald Trump has an absolute defense of advice of counsel. If he has a lawyer, and whether it was legal or illegal, if the lawyer is advising him to do something, that's a defense. But what we haven't heard is that Donald Trump had any discussions about this particular transaction, let alone did he make the entry. So surrogates need to be out there pounding away on the facts that are coming out and the inadequacy of this case. When they do that, you notice, Harris, he's jumping in the polls because of this use of the law as a weapon to go after a political opponent.
Well, it's not the wording that I would have used to describe Stormy Daniels covering Tolman for just a second. The New York Appeals Court has just denied Trump the appeal of his gag order. And you heard Kerry there talking about these surrogates and the importance of them being there. I would imagine that is even more so now.
Well, it is. And remember, the gag order is a tool that's utilized by judges to protect the defendant. It is also something that is rarely, if ever, applied just to one individual, one side, if you will, in a case. And I've never seen it applied to the defendant themselves. And so you have a constitutional problem. You have, no surprise, the appellate court upheld the district court. I'm sure they'll take it up to the superior court and may have a better shot at it. But without that ability to say anything about his own case and about the witnesses who are just free to say whatever they want on TV and on the internet, it's a reminder that this judge is not interested in a fair fact finding. It's more of a show to dirty up Donald Trump.
Yeah, and it's more it's deeper than that for Cohen, because he's monetizing what he's saying about Trump. He's got the doll in the orange jumpsuit. He's got the T-shirts. I mean, he's merch happy on this sense. So not only can he lie about Donald Trump and disparage Donald Trump, he can make money off of doing that. The judge apparently doesn't see this as a problem. It's a huge question in the judge's judgment.
You hit the nail on the head. It really comes down to corroboration. And you notice they don't seem to have identified any other witnesses that are going to come in and corroborate what Michael Cohen has said. And Harris, I haven't heard yet anything that's come out in this trial, from Stormy Daniels to Michael Cohen. I have not heard anything that goes to the elements of the crime that the prosecution is supposed to be able to prove. So without corroboration, what case do you have?
Brett Tolman is here, former U.S. attorney for Utah and former federal prosecutor as well. And Phil Holloway is here, former assistant district attorney. Gentlemen, you're with me for the hour, and that is a great thing. Brett, I'm going to start with you. A liar's paradox. What is that?
Harris, thanks for having me on. Looking forward to this hour as well. I'll tell you that when I was a young prosecutor, I was sat down by the U.S. attorney, and I was told, you need to be very careful if you think one of your witnesses is lying and trying to reach a certain result in a case. And it wasn't just because you put your case in jeopardy. There was a statute 1622 that said, if I knowingly suborned perjury, that I could be subject to criminal penalties, even as a prosecutor. And so it's shocking to me for Alvin Bragg to be putting a witness on the stand like this and for so long. The longer they are on the stand, the more material for cross-examination and the more likely it is that you will expose his lies. And that really is a problem for the case. But if I were looking into this case afterwards, if there's an acquittal, I would certainly want to investigate whether there was a conspiracy to suborn perjury from some of these witnesses.